What's up people, Course here, coming at you with another Paragon deck build. Today we're going to be looking at the new hero, Morigesh. I'm actually loving this character so far, so let's go ahead and jump into the deck build, no further ado. So, for Morigesh, I go ahead and I start out with the Archmagus. I decided to go with a 30 power. Now, if you don't know, the basic prime cards have changed. I'll probably do another video on that. I won't take this video to do that, but I went with 30 power because I think that's more viable than the attack speed. But yeah, we'll talk about the other things with the prime card later. As we get down to the consumables, I filled them out. I went health potion, hunter strength, mana potion, scout's ward, shaman strength, and 2 strike tokens. Now I start off with the health potion, mana potion, scout ward. Morigesh, from what I see, she can either be played mid lane or off lane. I wouldn't bring her in the jungle. I don't think she's really that support type character, so I wouldn't play her in the safe lane, or I wouldn't play her as a carry. So I like her mid or left. She seems to be good in those 2 lanes. As the game progresses around level 7, I'll drop the potions for the drinks here, because around level 7 they start to heal more and give you more mana back. Strike tokens, if I have to go back and I'm floating a point, I'll go ahead and throw a strike token in there, just to stay maxed out on card power. Now as we get into the deck proper, I built her penetration, power, and mana. I didn't go any attack speed, no crit, none of that. She kind of reminds me of Countess, Shinbi type player. She's definitely a caster, and you want her to hit hard with her abilities, not so much her autos. So as we get into the deck, I have the Brawler's Ward here. This is in the deck proper. I usually build this card last. The Brawler's Sword is 6 power, 30 mana, and then 6 power once you fully upgrade it. I like keeping this card just because, as always, I say keep a ward in any deck that you run, just so you have that vision for yourself and that vision for your team. Vision wins games. So the Brawler's Ward, the only reason I'm going over it first because it was at the top for whatever reason. So that's the card that I usually build last. I keep my Scout Ward until about end game. Now, I have 2 throwaway cards in this deck, and those are the Fountain Spikes. I'll go over just one of them because they're both the same. So this Fountain Spike gives you 6 power, 30 mana, then another 6 power, 30 mana once you fully upgrade it. Now she isn't crazy on mana consumption, but she's definitely a caster. She definitely goes through mana. So early game, having a little bit of extra mana is great, especially if you can't get those river buffs. So this right here, the 2 Fountain Spikes seem to be all the mana that I needed, and I was able to poke out and harass the enemy team fairly well. So she doesn't need a whole lot of mana, but you definitely need to build some mana in the deck. So early game, I build this right here, and the Fountain Spike, and I put all major strikes on it. I don't build any mana on it. The little bit of mana that you get from it seems to be fine. So I build 2 of those, and late mid game or so, I'll start tossing them. Now, right here, I have a bunch of Shadow Scrolls. So let's go over this one. This is the one that I built first. The Shadow Scroll is 6 power, 2 ability pin, and then 4 ability pin once you fully upgrade it. I like this card because she focuses a lot on ability damage. Her ultimate is global, so it can hit people wherever they are. So I want her to cut through most of that ability armor, and I want her to have enough power to where her ultimate and her curse are really hitting hard. So that's why I picked this card. So the Shadow Scroll, I equipped them with all power. So this one has 3 strikes, which is 12 power apiece. Nice little boost of power there. Nice boost to ability pin. So I'm hitting hard. That's what you want. My second Shadow Scroll is exactly the same as the first one. So those are the 2 cards that I build first once I get to the deck proper. Now the next card that I'll build is a 3rd Shadow Scroll, but this one looks a bit different. This one, instead of having the minor or the regular strikes, it has 3 major casts, so 18 power apiece. Like I say, she's big on ability damage, so no crit, no attack speed. You just want that raw power so that she's hitting hard. Now at this point, as you get towards end game, you will be consuming a bit more mana, and you might want to stay out longer. So at this point, I might build my Wellspring Staff. Now I was thinking about going with the I can't remember what it's called now, like Witch's Ash or something. I can't remember now. It's the card that slows on ability hit, but I opted to go with this card instead, the Wellspring Staff, because it gives you 6 power, 30 mana once you fully upgrade it, and a 0.3 mana regen. So I equipped this with 2 advanced manas, which are 90 power apiece, and then a major cast. Now, I went with that because, like I say, she does consume a little mana, so the mana regen is okay. It's not a whole lot, but a little bit helps. But the mana is what's more important there. Having that extra 200 so mana does help out. So it's about 210 actually, 240. It does help out. It keeps you out in combat a little bit longer. So that's why I went with that card right there, because you want to have some mana in the build, I've noticed. Now the last card that I would build before I go with my Brawler Sword is the last Shadow Scroll, which is another 3 major casts. So that is my deck build for Morigesh right now. When it's all said and done, she's sitting at 24 attack power, ability pin, 258 power, and 1,622 mana. So overall, it's pretty good. It's been working for me so far. I'm still trying to get into an actual PvP match though, so we'll see how it works when we actually play against other people. Let's go ahead and take a look at her moveset here real quick. Alright, so as we get the Morigesh, her abilities, so she has a dagger. I assumed that she was going to be a melee, kind of like Shimby, but she's actually a range. So she like throws bugs or something out of her dagger. I don't know what they are, little voodoo hexes. But it's actually a ranged attack, so keep that in mind. You don't have to be right up on your enemy in order to hit them. She has a good range, like a Sparrow or Murdoch or whatever. Any range that you can think of, she has a good range. Next move here is called Mark. So Morigesh selects a target hero within range, dealing 82.5 ability damage to the hero. Her doll takes the shape of the hero, marking them as her target wherever they go in the map. So this move right here, you have to be it has about the same range as her dagger auto attack, so you have to be somewhat close to them in order to get it. You can't just hit them from anywhere on the map. But this move right here, it does good damage, and it sets you up to use your ultimate. So whatever target that you have marked, that's the target that your ultimate is going to focus on. So this move right here, great move. I'm really liking it, and it's pretty cool to see how the dolls look like once they actually once you actually mark somebody, because it takes a form. The Howitzer doll looks ugly as hell. Now as we get over here to the hive, Morigesh throws a hive of insects that explode in an AoE, dealing 21.8 ability damage on direct hit, and applies a stack of 21.8 ability damage per tick over 8 seconds to the enemy in the AoE. Enemies are slowed briefly on each tick of damage, and Morigesh gains vision of the affected target. Damage and vision lasts 12 seconds on a marked target. Now I like this move not only because it slows every time it ticks, but because it's a dot. And I wasn't sure that it was a dot. I thought they had to be standing in the area in order to get affected. But if you hit them directly, it's gonna hit them for that tick over 8 seconds or so. And that's pretty cool, because that damage, it helps you with your harassing, first of all, because that's what you are. You're definitely a harasser. You're not like a tank, you're not a carry, you are a harasser. So that move really helps with that. At first I wasn't really feeling it, but as I figured out what it does, it's a very good move. And it puts a lot of pressure, especially if you can get it on the carry. Now, Swarm. So Morigesh turns Swarm into a swarm of insects for 2.5 seconds, granting her a movement speed boost and the ability to pass through enemies. Passing through an enemy deals 43.2 ability damage and grants her 1 stack of 6.48 health regen for 4 seconds. Stacks are limited to 5 stacks. So as I was playing her, I noticed that I think the highest I got up to was about 138 regen if I went through all the minions. And that's pretty good. It gives you about 200, 250 health back overall, because it's a very short period of time, maybe 300, but it wasn't anything crazy. But it will keep you alive. It does keep you in the fight. So very good move. Also, what I learned is using this move helps you close the gap, more importantly than just getting that health back. You hit your swarm, you get into range so that you can mark them, and then you can dash out of there and use your ult on them. So very good move, good for escaping, good for engaging. The only thing is, make sure that you don't get out of position while doing it, because she doesn't really have an escape, and the movement speed buff isn't all that great. You're not going to be moving super fast. You definitely move quicker, but it's nothing crazy. So just make sure you pay attention to the map, because that's a good way to get caught out as well. Now here's her ultimate, Curse. So if Morigesh has a valid mark, she raises her dagger and stabs her doll, dealing 192.6 ability damage to her target, while Morigesh is channeling the marked hero will be warned that she is about to strike. Now, I like her ultimate because it hits you wherever you are. You can hit them with your curse a couple of times, hit them with your mark a couple of times, and then run away. And if they don't back soon enough, and even if they do back, if you can catch them at the right time, you probably can still get them. I haven't tested that out yet, but if they don't back in time, you can just take them out, because at in game my ult was hitting for about 547, and that's pretty good. You know, that will definitely end somebody, especially when in game you might have 1500 health. So curse, if you're building with a fair amount of damage, does good damage to the character. It's definitely a finisher. So people, that's what I'm thinking about her right now. As far as priority goes, I prioritize her mark, and then I prioritize the hive, and then I go with swarm last. Now, mark is the one that I go with for sure. Now, if you think you might need swarm because you need to get away, like early on, like let's say you got somebody who you know is a very good jungler or something, maybe I would go with swarm first just for that speed boost. But usually I choose hive first, especially if I can lane relatively peacefully, just because it helps poke out and it helps with last hitting and all that good stuff. And then of course, once you have those, prioritize your curse over all of them, because curse is a beast. So people, that's what I have for Morigesh right now. I'm loving her. I think she's going to be a great addition to the game. She really changes the meta up right now, because she can really take carries out of the game, period. You know, it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how people respond to her. Hopefully they don't nerf her too quickly, because I think she brings a good difference to the game, I guess is what I'm looking for. As always, people, if you like this video, make sure to drop a like, sub if you haven't subbed already, and make sure to share the video out. It helps me out a bunch, and maybe somebody else will get a kick out of the video. Maybe it'll help them. As always, people, I appreciate you watching the video. Thank you. I appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.